So, I'm gonna make a how-to play Space Marine 2 series to help newer or people who have a hard time with the game, basically. So, tips of advice and other stuff. First tip and advice in this video is that you start out with the main story. It's a good playthrough, it's hard and it's fun, but it's not as hard as the late game stuff. So begin there just to get the handle of the game. If you're new to this type of gameplay, you need to get into the controller and the blocking and the dodging. And if you're not foreign to block and dodge, you need to learn the in-game skills, perks and stuff like this. But start with the main story, because then you don't have to worry about those kinds of stuff. Then you just get to learn the game style, mechanics and the weapons. PvP and PvE on the online feature though are two different things, and the game works differently, and you need to know about these differences. Because you can't really parry, you can only block, and melee does health damage through your shield, whilst your range weapons need to puncture the shield before doing health damage. So your parry is only a block, so there's differences in the gameplay. But the PvP is a lot of fun, so don't skip it. You just need to put on your PvP hat or your PvE hat and everything is fun to play, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. At this console is where you enter all the mission data. So the main story here, you got 3 planets that you need to play through. So you start at Kadaku and you need to get through all of these. The thing is, if you play the main storyline and then you jump into the PvP or the PvE, at least when I played through the solo campaign, you need to restart on the first mission on the planet you're on. So this is the first planet. So if you reach this and you clear a couple of maps, but not the entire planet, you need to restart from mission 1. So this is why you should play through the entire solo thing before you go online, because then you don't have to worry. You have done everything. So when you're done with that, you can either move into the PvP, which has 3 game modes. All are fun. Or you can go into PvE that has 2 game modes. So you have operations and then you have siege. These are your options on the online setting. In the operations, you have different maps here. You have 1 to 9 that you will play with other people. You can change your difficulty level up here. And these are the game modes. So I haven't even touched the highest one, but I would say start with the least hard one. And the reason is that your weapons and melee weapons and all other weapons need to be upgraded. Your class needs to level up. Your class needs to level up, which gets perks, and your weapons need to level up to become better. So I'm working on my sniper here. It's the only one I haven't prestiged to maximum. So I have this one as maxed. He got a couple of weapons I need to level up though. My bulwark is maxed. Vanguard just reached max. My assault is in max prestige, but got 2 levels left, but he is basically done. And the same with my tactical. My tactical got all the perks he needs. So the perk tree is here, and then you got the skill perks. And when you get to the max level over here, which is 25, you can reset, not reset, you can open up a point. So you get boosts that will help your character be better. But once you do this one time, you start out at level 1 again. But these skills here are so worth it and make your class even better. Your weapons. Start out here at standard. Now you choose the weapon, and you see this little marker here that is golden, the star or whatever it is. It shows a mastery point, and the mastery points gets up here. So now this weapon, you can go into the perk tree and you can choose the points you want to boost its capabilities. So magazine size on this one, and then this is the path I took, but there's a couple of options. So you need to get to the master crafted weapons to even get these. So every weapon you unlock gives you a mastery point. So you can't skip this. If you skip this, your character will suck, because you need to upgrade your weapons. You need to upgrade your weapons, and you need to put perks in the weapons specific perk tree. If you don't know this, you will automatically suck. So let's see if we can find a weapon that I haven't played. Here we go, we found one. See this? You also see here that it chooses master, and the cost is 1 point. Now you don't want to do this with the expensive points, because you see up here, these points you need to earn. The data, armory data they are called, and these are master crafted data, and these are artificer data, and this is relic data. The relic data is the hardest one to get, so you don't want to waste this on unlocking weapons. If you do this on the lower levels, might not be too big of an issue, but if you unlock this would take maybe one or a couple of games depending on the difficulty level you play. But as long as you play, you will master this by playing it, because it needs 1,300 points, so you don't have to pay the armory data point to unlock it. This way you will save the point, because when this bar here has reached all the way over here, this bar needs to be unlocked with a armory data point, and that is the same for all weapons, which means this guy has a lot of weapons, and he needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of a mastery crafted data points alone to unlock this 2 weapons. Same over here and same over here. So if you unlock this, then you have the ability to... I even have a point over here. You have the ability that you can just play with all these 3 instead of using this relic data point. Because I only have 1, but I have to unlock 3, you know. And if I have to unlock 3, I don't have enough. And maybe I want to save this relic point, because then I can unlock this relic line and just play with these 4 until they are mastered. So I don't want to unlock with the data point. Let's just do this before I forget. Should we take this? Fire rate. No. Do we want this? Reload weapon. It's a slow reload. I think fire rate is not a problem. We'll take this. Okay. Anyways. So that's a fast run through of the game, what you need to know to be able to play in the PvE section. Where do I begin to play? What character to choose? My advice is that you choose a class that you think looks cool and you take some cool stuff and then you just play. That's my advice. Play the thing that looks cool. Try them all out. When you find something you like, go with it. But if you're having a hard time, my advice is that you pick the most powerful stuff first. It will serve you best. But it all depends on what you're fighting against. So we are going with tactical. How to play tactical. You're a new player. You got a bunch of weapons here. You can play all of these with every weapon. This character will be a different experience. This weapon is great and will help you get far, but you would need a good backup weapon. So if you do play with Meltagun, you're gonna have a good time. But have the plasma pistol, because the plasma pistol, I'm not saying that the bolt pistols won't work, but the plasma pistol has a charge, same as the plasma gun and the plasma cannon. So you can charge them up and they will burn more ammo, but the shot itself will deal more damage. So it's very functional in that regard on hurting single target enemies. The problem is when you hit a small critter that will take a giant blast that was meant for a bigger target. So it has a flaw that the bolter doesn't have. The bolter can penetrate, as you remember. So let's go into the perk tree here. The good thing about weaponry also is that some weapons can be found on other characters. So if you start out with the bulwark, for example, it will only upgrade pistols. It doesn't have a primary. So if you play bulwark or assault, you will only work on pistols and on melee weapons. And if you go heavy, he has a weapon that no other class has. But if you play tactical, vanguard or sniper, you can upgrade weapons that you share with others. But the sniper, I think the sniper only has like one weapon that it shares, and it's this weapon here, right here. So it's you have to check that. But the Meltagun is good on vanguard and tactical. And both tactical and vanguard are really good classes. So the perk tree here, I went this way. So I chose to finisher, restores 1 ammo, which is good. You won't run out as easy. When your health is below 30%, killing an enemy, 7 enemies in a rapid succession restores health by 10%. Killing 5 enemies in one shot restores 1 armor segment. So this is our survivability skills. So not only will you be killing hordes of enemy easy, you actually keep yourself alive. You're getting health, you're getting armor points. Now you deal 10% against terminus level enemies. This one I actually might want to change, but what's the option? This weapon reloads 10% faster. Meh. You're probably gonna switch your pistol, but it's just a point. Because here you get 10% damage against everyone. Kinda want that. Magazine size, 15%. Pretty good. Reload, got that there. And then we have first shot after reload deals 10% more damage. Also very good. A perfectly timed dodge. You deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds, which can be good. Rate of fire also can be good. Effective range increases with 1 meter. This one is actually somewhat good, because the melta gun is short of range. So this could be an effective choice. So you can build this differently than I did. But this is how I built it. Fire rate increased 10%. Didn't care about that. I only cared about this one. So I finalized my build here. But if you go for this point, you will have a totally different melta gun experience than I have. So, let's see. Plasma pistol. So I went the down route. So this one that I didn't choose has short shot, generate 10% less heat. I chose damage. Perfectly timed dodge, deal 25% damage more. So got more of that damage increase. Damage radius of a short shot increase. This weapon's energy reserves increase. More ammo. More damage against terminus level enemies. Damage. This weapon energy's reserves increase by 20%. More ammo. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession, you deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Cooldown is 15 seconds. So you have a bunch of boosting damage on this one and on the melta gun. So if these are boosting each other, I don't know, but I hope so. But there's nothing in the game that tells me if their perks are boosting even if they're not equipped. Because it might be that the melta gun is only giving you the boost when you have it in your hands, and you have to switch over to the pistol to get the bonus from the pistol. So I don't know if they're both active at the same time. Because I don't know the programmed code, for example. Now you can also switch melee weapons here. So the tactical one, you have 2 choices here. You have the chainsword, and you have this dagger here. Now this dagger, it's not bad, but I've just started using it, and it's a little bit... it's very hard to use against hordes of enemies. So I think this is the hardest one to play with. The chainsword, it's good against both groups of people, but also very good against single targets, bigger and stronger targets. So the chainsword is a safe bet.